If you're like me, you think about recycling a lot. You know who doesn't think a lot about recycling? Cars. Talking to you now, self-driving cars of tomorrow, you're gonna have to think about recycling 4,000 times a minute. Now let's talk about self-driving cars for a second. Their responsibilities are gonna include picking you up in the morning, bringing you to work, coming back, and then coming to pick you up at the end of the day. I mean, if they made you a peanut butter sandwich and powdered your ass, it'd be perfect, right? But mommy's got a dirty little secret. Something that gets her motor running. And that is off-peak demand curve grid parity. Now here is a map of the Bay Area electrical routing switch matrix as a 2D plane. Now, in this segment of the system alone, there are tens of thousands of switch pins. A switch pin is a tiny electromechanical buffer that is used to prevent massive inflows of electricity that could shut down the system. Now, in the 18th century, these pins were carved whole out of bison hooves and lubricated with whale oil. But that wouldn't necessarily fly to power P to HQ, am I right? But modern pins are made with a compound that includes 30% uranium. Yes, the scary radioactive kind. Now, these pins were designed to work for 20 years and then to be dumped in the Yucca mountain range in Nevada, where they will be kept for tens of thousands of years. Now, for perspective, I'm only 32. Now, with grid use flattened over the course of a day, these pins switch up to 2,000 times. Now, forgive my skepticism here, but that's pretty fucked up. The entire grid is designed for old models of usage. We need to radically rethink our grid paradigm for the 22nd century and beyond. Now, the big idea here is knowledge. Knowledge is the thing that will solve this seemingly intractable problem. Our cars need to be smart enough to realize that these old methodologies are not viable to sustain our ecosystem for our grandchildren's grandchildren. But there's good news. The good news is, this knowledge is out there. It's calling us, beckoning us with booty calls and midnight texts. The least we can do is give it a quick reach around.